Yeah, it's
The
been
West
tight up
is
there.
the West is so wild to me right now because I would still say Denver is the team, but I don't think they're like head and shoulders above the rest of the pack as far as like being like the best team in the conference. I think I just give them the nod because they're the champs and they have the best player and they've been there and done that, right? But still, man, if they don't have home court, I saw somebody say this the other day. If they don't have home court, could get a little interesting out west.
It definitely could. It definitely could. The biggest thing that I try to remember with Denver is Jamal Murray is just going to be a different beast in the playoffs, and that's just a fact at this point. And like he's
Big game
he's
merchant.
fine this year, but that's all he's been is he's been fine for Jamal Murray standards. So give him another 2 or 3 months, and we'll see a very different version of him, I would suspect.
And Reggie Jackson's probably going to be great off the bench for them in the playoffs, and Peyton Watson's going to provide good minutes. Christian Brown's going to have some games. Like that's probably just how it works for Denver. I feel like last season we looked at them in the same way in the regular season because it was a little weird up and down. Defense wasn't that good, and then once it got to the playoffs, it was like, oh, they're clearly the best team out west.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough beat regardless of who they get. Like it's tough. They're like you say, defending champs. They've got the experience, and that's the other thing. I mean, outside of the Clippers, those teams that are fighting at least for those top seeds don't have that experience. That's not to say there aren't other teams in the conference that have it, but quite a lot of those teams are the teams that are struggling right now. Of course, the Lakers and the Warriors being the most notable ones. So, as far as those top teams go, home court advantage or not, that could be the tipping point come late in the playoff series.
Yeah, I can't ever bet against Denver. Just after last year, I was such a doubter. I took the Suns, and it was 6 games, but it was pretty firmly in Denver's control the whole series. And then winning the conference finals in 5, would they win the finals in like 5 or 6? It was sweet.
They swept the Lakers. They swept the Lakers.
Oh, was it not?
They swept the
It
Lakers.
was just they swept
Finals
the
was 5, I
Lakers?
think. Yeah, the
Yeah.
finals
The
was 5.
finals was 5. But either way, in every series, they were pretty firmly in control. So I just can't bet against them. I did last year, and they proved me wrong. And I know once the playoffs start, they're just not going to miss.
Yeah, I would have to see something that's just like super, super concerning from them. And the bench isn't great, but they shorten the hell out of their rotation anyways. So I really don't care how bad the bench has been. Because when you have Jokic, he's going to play his 38 to 40 minutes in the playoffs. And he's going to be the most impactful player on the floor every time. Like you said, Devin, Jamal Murray's going to elevate. And Aaron Gordon does what he does. Michael Porter Jr. is usually there when you need him. KCP, ultimate glue guy for them too. So it's like those guys just do their job so well. And then you have Jokic who dominates the game offensively. Like you have to play almost picture perfect basketball to beat them, especially if they end up having home court, which is still a pretty good possibility.
Honestly, with Jokic being as good as he is at elevating people too, I feel like even if the bench guys aren't like super great, just having him on the floor can probably elevate any unit enough to be serviceable while the rest of the starters are getting a break.
For sure. And we even saw that a bit with Jamal Murray in the postseason last year with his playmaking. And like you said, Reek, they shortened the bench enough. Like Reggie should be able to give them some good minutes. Peyton Watson should be able to give them some good minutes. Then they might only go to a couple of guys. Christian Brown still can get some minutes in there. That's 3 decent options. Maybe DeAndre Jordan gets a few minutes. Even Julian Strawther could give you a few minutes if he really gets hot. So they have enough options there that they're probably fine, especially like you guys say, Jokic is around there to elevate those guys off the bench.
Forgot about DeAndre Jordan, man. Still thugging it
Keeps
out.
his job. He keeps his job.
He's actually has some like decent games this year when Jokic is out though, which is the funniest thing. Like he can still play a little bit if he is only playing like big minutes once every 15 games or so.
Yeah, if you need to run him out there for 6-8 minutes in a playoff game, he can get a job done. He might not play any more than that, but he can get the job done.